We'll first start with the roll call. Doug Murphy, Keith Ritchie, George Pennington.
Francesca Scala.
Tim Pumpo.
Sue Leone.
Okay, thank you. Next order of business is to approve the minutes from the December 13th meeting. I'd also like to thank Hank for chairing that meeting in my absence. I appreciate that. Is there a motion to approve? I move to approve. Second. Okay, thanks, Susan. So, all in favor?
I was abstaining because I wasn't here.
Okay, opposed? One abstention. So carries. Thank you. I'd like to amend the agenda a little bit with our new first select person here. Welcome. Glad you're here. To conduct the election of the officers this year.
You need a approval?
Sorry.
You got to have a tight schedule.
Formally, just get the approval.
You have to get
You have
approval.
to- oh,
to
really?
the agenda.
And the second for the.
They don't ask for nominations or anything?
No.
Bill, he's asking to amend the agenda, so you have to approve.
Oh, yes,
amending
amend the
of
agenda.
Oh,
Second motion. Motion
Done this
second.
week.
All in favor? Okay. Sorry about that. Okay.
It's okay. It's okay. My Board of Ed days are making me twitch. Okay, so, well, thank you. It's nice to be here to meet all of you and, thanks for your service to the town. It's important, everything that you're doing, so thank you. I am here to run the officer elections, and if I could get a nomination for the role of chairman.
I nominate George.
Thank you.
I second it.
Thank you.
That's, that work. Thank you. Do I have any other nominations on the floor? Seeing none, can I do a voice vote? All those in favor, say aye. Any opposed? Okay, seeing none. Congratulations, George.
Thank you very much. Okay.
And then I guess we also need a secretary.
Secretary.
So could I get nomination for the role of secretary? Timothy.
Francesca Scales.
Second.
Second, George. Do I have any further nominations for the role of secretary? Seeing none, could I get a voice vote? All those in favor of Francesca Scales?
Aye.
Okay, all right, congratulations.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Thanks for coming.
Yeah.
You're more than welcome to
I
stay.
was here for a little bit, but I.
I understand you got a, and I actually you were 2 days of FEMA meetings too.
It was very,
And was,
yeah,
how are you?
no, it was great, actually, as someone who has, almost no, I mean, I was a lifeguard in high school and college, but that's it, so my emergency, any kind of emergency services, it's all new for me, so it's really good
Right.
to be part of that and learn sort of how the system works. And we're very lucky in this town to have
Yeah.
so many great resources, so
Absolutely. So appreciate you being here.
thanks for having me.
The second item on the agenda is our budget, which I will turn over to, or any budget, turn over to John.
Okay, so, on Tuesday of next week, we go in front of the Board of Selectmen with budget, so we'll have a whole presentation for both parks and recreation there. So just kind of giving a basic overview, we haven't asked for anything drastically different. Park maintenance right now, we're looking for a 3.17% increase over that, which is would allow us to keep doing everything we're doing. It's a simple thing, but no major changes. The few changes in there, fertilizer and seed, might sound bad, but that's gone up 10%. We're projecting 10%, but compared to last year where seed went up about 40% and fertilizer went up about 17%, we're feeling pretty good about a 10% increase. But we haven't done any major overhaul of programs or anything. The only thing that we'd like to do is do some goose control on both Saks and the high school. Canada geese don't live there, but they do still make a mess because it's a great feeding ground for them. So it's different than Mead Park where we need to go down there twice a day, every day of the week. There's certain times a year where we'll need them in there to harass the geese just to get them to move along. So that we look for some money for that. Other than that, the big change in recreation, the self-sustaining fund is allowing us to do a lot of our programs as we need to. The one that just came up, the father-daughter dance was released and sold out basically in minutes.
Wow.
And we were able to add an extra seating. So we doubled how many people came, which worked out very well. And that's what the self-sustaining fund does for us. It gives us the ability to spend the money as we're bringing it in, instead of having to truly budget for everything. So, of note, right now, under capital, we delayed the paddle tennis, the additional court, and the patio picnic area that we were talking about. Unfortunately, this year and last year, our permit sales are way down. We're not seeing the same usage that we had in the past. We think a lot of it is, but they're down, the numbers they're down, pickleball is taking over. And with us having basically nice weather, it seems like that people are still playing pickleball
Mhm.
more than they're playing paddle. So we want to evaluate it. We want to make sure that we don't put in something that we really don't need. So that's why we,
Can I ask you a question on that?
Sure.
You said you're delaying it, so does that mean 2025?
well, we look at the budget, says the budget we're presenting now is for the 25 budget because it
Oh.
ends.
So it's gonna be 2 years.
Well, it wouldn't, what we're trying to approve money for now would be starting July 1st, 2024. So the budget that we're looking for is a 25 budget per se. So, yes, it would be another year out in the capital.
Mhm.
But it's hard for us to ask for something that doesn't show the membership numbers that it's needed.
Right.
So,
Yeah.
Are
Well,
we-
the reservation system and all was brand new and kind of tough to deal with too, but I get it.
well, we're not having the members. People aren't.
I'd second that. I play there 3 times a week. And, other than a period, maybe between say 8 and 11 AM. Where there's sometimes surplus demand. After that, there's always empty courts.
Yeah.
So the question is, does this town have the wherewithal that we're gonna put in extra just to satisfy this excess demand that exists for 2 or 3 hours a day?
Exactly.
And it's hard to justify.
We're missing, we haven't been this year having the weekend afternoons. They used to be very
Yeah.
busy and it's just, there's people playing still. Don't get me wrong, I'm not saying we're taking out paddle courts by any means, but that put another court in, right now it just doesn't seem to make sense. So,
Are other towns, Darien, Wilton, Westport, are they experiencing the same decline in their permit sales? I'm just kind of, this is something, a trend across the board. That's, I always like to look at us compared to some other
You
towns.
know, we'll have to do some research on that. I really don't know.
Yeah.
I know pickleball's taken off. It's
Sure.
Still taking
Yeah.
off, and part of that could have happened because of COVID and everything else when you could play racket sports.
Right.
But it doesn't seem like it's going anywhere right now. You know, it's not flashing the pan, it's gonna be over.
Yeah.
John, while we're on paddle, we've had a couple of people come before this commission in the past, asking about equipment that would help dry out the
The heaters,
heaters, whatever they are.
yeah,
Is that going to be in this budget? Or
that's gonna be, yes. So we don't have the extra money for the propane. We do have the heaters there, but we don't have the extra money for this winter in propane, but for next year, we will.
so next year being 25?
Next winter is probably the easier way to look at it.
Oh.
Because our budgets run from July 1st to the end of June. So
So is that winter 25?
winter 24, 25.
Yeah, 25.
Yeah.
Okay, thanks, Steve.
It's only been 26 years I've been doing these budgets this way and I still have to think about it.
Thanks.
John, along the lines of paddle use, are the leagues still as popular as they have been? That drives a lot of the use.
I think they're still pretty much right there. Except, I'd say they've gone down some just because the amount of permit holders is what we're really looking
Yeah.
at. It's gone down. So.
We've added programs as well, we've added socials, we've got socials once a month now, we're getting anywhere between like, some have 15, some have 30 people, so we're trying to get different ideas, like, get people involved. We're
Right.
just not seeing the numbers are in pickleball, they're at, and they're really Padel is the new one that's up and coming, that's kind of taking,
Courthouse.
yeah, so.
Mhm.
So,
Well, the pickleball courts anecdotally have been at least half full.
Yeah.
It's still playing, the weather's still been nice, you guys did a nice job of clearing out the courts, there are no weeds, no
It's,
debris.
we're into January, we're a third of the way into January and we still have green grass out there.
Yeah.
This is not normal weather. You can be out playing where paddle is notorious being a winter sport.
Yeah.
So
True. And this might be the new normal weather.
it could be, I don't know. I can't say I really like it, but that's another subject. And then just the last note, Lapham Community Center, we're looking at a 4.88% increase there, mainly just because costs have gone up there. But we also are very supportive of Lapham. They save residents in New Canaan $1 million for doing their, the medical
Yeah.
forms. That's a lot of money saved for residents, so that's an important thing, so. Other than that, unless there's any specific questions on budgets, I'd be glad to go next month, give you the whole presentation.
Does anybody have any questions for John? No. Well, I appreciate you doing that. I know that it's a long, sometimes tedious process to go through.
Don't say that yet.
Sorry, it was already tedious.
More for you guys, yeah, but we just appreciate you doing that too. It's an important part of the democratic process per se. With that, we'll move back to John for the park and rec.
Well, I'm gonna take a little break since Zach's here tonight. I'm gonna have him talk about recreation programs, but
Okay.
you know, as far as park maintenance and everything, the guys got through their first snowstorm. I was away enjoying warm weather and, in a way, the first snowstorm falling on a weekend might cost the town more money and overtime, but it's the perfect time to work out all the bugs. We have
Right.
some new employees that don't know the plowing routines and things like that, so it worked out well. So that went very well. Other than that, you know, you take a day like today, we're cleaning up storm damage and everything like that. So that went well. One thing that I was approached today, and it's something I think we should be putting on our radar, and it's been talked about before, is the thoughts on putting a splash pad maybe down at Kiwanis.
Oh, what a cool
What
idea.
is splash pad?
Splash pad is more for younger kids.
Right.
Instead of having a swimming place per se, it's all the water features. Anything from water squirting out of the ground, making arcs, to the bucket slowly filling up with water and then dumping on the kids. There's a lot of things. It's mainly for younger kids because they're not having to swim. It is truly a swimming pool. It's just pumping the water for features instead of, you know, it's chlorinated water that.
Would it be, do you have any ideas where you would put it?
No,
Okay.
well, I have some ideas, but I don't think that would be where we'd start. I think we would want to look at Kiwanis holistically of where it should go and maybe start off by putting in 5 years out in the budget, some design fees. Or something.
And it's a great idea.
And other than that,
Sure.
oh, gonna turn it over to Zach for recreation.
Yeah, the recreation's been going well. So the last thing we did, our winter after school programs, they started, did the parent teacher conference weeks. Did our after school programs, those were great. We did, breakfast with Santa this year. We, got usage out of the tractor that we used for the fall event as our own Polar Express this year. So
Oh, great.
Ryan was actually our conductor, which was great. So we were going around. They loved it. It was a great hit. Even with breakfast with Santa though, we sold that out. So full seatings, 316, we had 136 on the wait list. So as we're
Wow.
continuing to release these programs out, we're finding that lack of space is kind of starting to become a problem. But it's a good problem to have. I mean, people are liking the programs, or liking what we're offering, which is great. Like John was saying before, the father-daughter dance, that sold out relatively quickly, which is great. And what's nice about that is with the self-sustaining fund now, okay, so here's our numbers, we're good to go, we'll put up a second session. So we opened a second session, that one also sold out as well, so we're excited about that. And then we're also doing a dinner mystery night at Waveney, which would be nice, that's coming up end of this month, which would be awesome.
Great.
That's a 1920s theme, so it's an adult program, people will dress up, they'll come. Should be a good event, it's something that's new, which we tried and it worked, so we're excited to see how that goes. And then we're already starting to look towards summertime, we're already starting to plan summer camp and and so forth with that. We'll probably bump the summer camp numbers of kids up again. We went 100 last year, probably a little 120 this year. Speaking with Steve Dane, we're gonna be able to utilize the Steve Banko pool more as a routine for kids, which is awesome. It's a great pool. You might as well put it as a station for them, which would be great. Next week, we have a meeting with the YMCA to do swim lessons as well. Those were a huge success. They pretty much run those at cost, which is great. So it's low cost for the residents, quality program for the residents. So it's a home run on both sides, which is great. But yeah, right, and everything's going good. We do our exercise classes. Those are still going on now. So as long as the weather's holding off, we can be able to utilize the outside. It's been successful, so it's good.
Excellent. Excellent.
I have just a quick question, the mystery dinner.
Sure.
So did that sell out?
It's
Like an adult program?
That's correct, yeah, so we sold it by table, so we did, we had enough certain amount of tables and that did sell out. It didn't sell as quick as the kids program, but it did end up selling out.
Perfect.
Yeah, so it's exciting.
Any questions for Zach?
I don't have a question for Zach, and probably one I should have answered with John before. Where does the possibility of putting air conditioning in Waveney House fit in the budgetary process?
Right now, they're working on a design for a heating forward. Where exactly that falls,
Is that Tiger, is that us?
it's truly Tucker.
Yes, okay.
It's not the commission per se.
Okay.
So we've had meetings with the, I'm gonna say architects, designers, engineers, trying to figure out how they will put all the heating in there.
Yeah,
in the air
okay.
conditioning. But they want to have that design because at any point in time, we could have massive failures with the heating system. You're talking 100 years old, that's the problem. We have pipe
Yeah.
leaks, things like that, so.
Yeah. Yeah, you know, where I'm coming from is, if we really want that to be a great location for weddings or other parties, you gotta have air conditioning for the summer, and you've gotta have good heating, not kind of hot in this room, and cool in this room, in the winter. And we don't have it. You know, so I just wanna make sure there is some process where someone's looking at.
Yeah, the design is happening now.
Good.
So it's been happening. So as far as where that falls on the request, offhand, I'm not sure. I'll find out for you.
Thanks, John.
Any further questions? This is gonna be a short meeting, guys. Exactly.
Go ahead. Just one more, yeah, don't mind. John, could you just comment for a second, because I know Ryan's giving a presentation, I guess, next meeting about the playground, is comment on that?
Yeah, Ryan has been doing a great job, hosting all the playground meetings for the playground here at Waveney Park. We're working through designs and budget issues and that type of stuff. But he's gonna have a lot more information. We finally had the survey done of the property. So of that section, so that allows us to truly have a design instead of this concept. Yeah, put it over there type thing, you know, to really figure out what fits in the area. So next month, we think we're gonna be in a good place where he can give you a nice update.
Thank you so much. Thank you. And John, before we go on, any update on Irwin as far as like what the garden club's doing? Or is that just,
Mainly the prices they're doing fundraising, is probably the easiest way to look at it. Yeah.
so it's just gonna stay the way it is?
Right now, nothing's changed since the presentation.
How about the benches in Waveney? Sculpture benches.
Oh, just found out, that they cleared customs.
Right.
So it was either Friday or Monday, received word on that. And so 7 to 14 days, they should be on site. Yeah, the bases, the concrete bases for them to sit on have been installed. So it's just a matter of, since they cleared customs, now they have to be removed from the containers and then trucked up here. So.
Right.
But they're coming.
No. Right. Super. Well, appreciate the update, both of you, and thanks you for all the phenomenal work you guys are doing too. Any other questions for John or Zach or
Last
Ron or
one.
Todd? Yeah.
If you don't mind. Mead Park skating is really occasional, I know. But have we in place somebody to check the ice when, like if it freezes over the weekend?
Oh, yeah.
Or do we have to wait until the week?
We can tell, you're gonna, it'd be more than a week. If it would freeze, if there's ice on the pond this weekend, it's gonna be another week of below freezing temperatures before you're gonna have enough ice that we can open. Our insurance company tells us how many inches we need.
Right.
So, and as a kid, we used to skate on a lot less than that, but
I know it's
you know,
changed.
yeah, it's changed. This late in the year, without ice on the pond and we, you know, to cover it up, the odds are not great of us ever having ice out there. Yeah, it just, once we hit the end of January, the days get a lot longer quick. And it doesn't take much to keep it from.
But we have ice down.
That's right.
Right.
That's us.
That's right.
One of our days, I said I should let people on, one of our days, a busy day, we had 60 people on the ice at one point in time, and
Wow.
on that day, we had 250 people were skating.
Nice.
That's great.
That was a busy day, but yes.
Yeah.
It looks beautiful, like just the lights, the trees, so picturesque.
I was there this weekend and I noticed at least 150 people
Yeah.
there. A lot of little kids and, you know,
70% are like 10 and 12 and under.
So have you been asking for this warm weather, Gene, so that we can't have ice skating on the ponds for 30?
Actually, the warm weather hurts us some.
Yeah, it sure does.
Especially a lot of rain.
The warm rain. Yeah, so
Wind tonight is horrendous today.
yeah.
okay, thank you, John. Next is my report. I have three quick items. First, just a reminder of you can attend Thursday night's meeting at Town Hall on the seminar on the Freedom of Information Act. That's an important topic that all of us need to be aware of. That starts 7 o'clock in Town Hall.
What day is that again?
This coming Thursday, which is the 12th. No.
11th.
Excuse me, tomorrow. I was thinking of Tuesday.
That's-
Yeah.
Yes.
You got it. The subcommittee reports, pass these around this coming year. Oh, yes, you got your double duty here. It's. You want for myself, we can pass these around, that would be great. Appreciate everyone's feedback. Next month, we'll have the new Keenan Athletic Foundation come and speak. And then Doug Bigger on from the Nature Center as well. Great. So I'll send you guys some email reminders on that. We had a good preliminary 4th of July meeting this afternoon. Just to let you know the dates of that, FYI, this was approved today. That is the Saturday, July 6th will be the target date. The 7th will be the rain date. If that gets washed out, it will be the 13th of July. Okay. That seems to be working very well to put it in a weekend, particularly if the 4th of July falls in a weekday. I think it's worked very, very well the last couple of years. And kudos to Tom Sadler and John for doing that. Thanks. So we are great. We appreciate everyone. I'm really looking forward to a fun year. Very productive year. That's it. Are there any? Oh, yeah.
I do. We already got the meeting.
Okay, they actually contacted me yesterday and asked to be on the February agenda.
Did they? Okay. We'll put them on the agenda.
Yeah.
This is Doug.
Done.
Yeah.
Great.
I know it got washed out last year.
That was a good move.
Yeah, exactly. Okay, perfect. All right, that's it for me. Is there any other discussions from the floor?
Betty? Betty's online. She hasn't raised her hand, and she hasn't unmuted.
Okay. So, with that. Did you?
Oh, okay, evening. Okay, gotcha.
Oh, okay, all right. If there's nothing further, is there a motion to adjourn? Doug's motions and Francesca seconded. All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed?
Okay.
Wow. That brings up.
I gotta be.